significant boost to our mindsets right now. So anybody else want to jump in and give an opinion on that?
I do.
Thanks, Jen.
Who hasn't spent $99 on dumber crap than this?
Good point.
You know, and you get it back. So once you have a sale, you get reimbursed the $99. You can watch it when you want to, and it's all about mindset. And I can't even tell you how bad of a place I was a couple weeks ago. And this is just going to help me crawl even further out of my hole that I dug myself in.
I'd like to just let everybody know that there were 6,100 people on that video training at one point yesterday. So what a great turnout, and it's just so great to be filled with positivity and positive outlooks, and it's really the place to be right now.
Who doesn't love Dusty's voice? I could listen to him all day.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Good stuff. Good energy, you know.
Okay, awesome. So, I mean, that's all really I have to say about that. It's not too late, by the way. We had a couple people reach out to us late yesterday asking if there was still time to sign up for Bold Pivot. Again, guys, do yourselves a favor. Sign up. Sign up. It's 4 weeks. The next session is tomorrow. So it's Tuesday, Thursday, 1 to 3, and then there's some coaching. I think they call it Coaching Corner. I'm not exactly sure what that consists of or what that's going to look like, but what a great way also to, like, Jen, you're a master networker. What a great way to also be networking with agents from across the country. So just some food for thought, guys. Lisa, are you back on?
Yep, I'm back on. My computer just decided to completely shut off on me, so sorry about that.
All right. We might have went a little out of order to kill some time, but we knew you'd make your way back to us.
That's fine. I knew you'd pitch it for me, so I appreciate that.
All right.
Okay, so we'll just kind of go right. So basically, they'll be able to request 3 different times that work for them. And then what will happen is you'll get a notification in your Command account. You'll also get a notification in your Kelly app. You have somebody that's wanting to see a home. And then at that point, you can decide with them, you know, whether or not it's going to be a virtual showing or, you know, depending on what the seller is allowing, you know, if you can actually go through the home, take a video of your own, you know, and send it to them, or if, you know, they can actually go through the home. So anyway, that's just a really cool feature that's been added. I think it's a great example of just all the different features that are coming out on the app and the website, how quickly they're coming, and how quickly our consumer app and our world-class search websites are more feature rich than a lot of our competitors out there. So, you know, if you haven't tapped into sharing your app and what your website can do for you, please do so. You know, they're constantly adding more. So we're excited about that.
Awesome.
Just another reminder, I know we do these every team meeting, but just, you know, remember your continuing education. Great time to be doing it right now when all of us are sitting at home. Timely renewal is June 15th. And so, you know, we hope that you'll have all of your education done by then. The course providers technically have 10 days to report your continuing education to the state. So if you're not getting it done until the 29th, you risk the chance of it not being posted. So please get that done sooner rather than later. If you're not sure if your license renews this year, there are instructions on the shared Google Drive. And if you just go in there and you type in continuing education, you search, there's a folder in there. And it'll just tell you exactly how to go to Pulse Portal and how to pull up your transcript to see exactly what's required of you this year if your license does renew. And again, it's $15 per year. Your first year as an agent looks a little different. Just a quick reminder about that. Lauren, if you're on, do you want to speak about what we have recently just finished with the lunch with Victoria's, and then talk a little bit about Red Day again? Lauren might not be on.
I'm here.
Oh, there she is.
There she is.
Just I'm trying to start my video. Okay. Hi. Sorry. All right. So we have raised. God, clearly I'm not ready for this. We have raised $500 for Red Day for the food drive. So thank you, everyone, for all your donations. Lisa, sorry, I missed what you said before that about lunch with Victoria's.
We just closed out that the project that your committee was working on. So if you just want to highlight that and how that ended.
Yep. So it's tomorrow. Lunch is being delivered to the MICU, which is not the NICU with the babies, but the MICU for the healthcare workers on the front lines of the COVID patients at St. Mary's and Mary Bry. They are going to be getting a lunch from Victoria's, compliments of KW Cares, and we raised $350 for that fundraiser. So thank you.
Yes, that is amazing, you guys. I mean, $350 to serve people who are so deserving and just let them know that they're appreciated and take a little break. I mean, thank you to everybody that donated to that and who's continuing to donate to our month of May food drive as well. It's gonna make a difference in a lot of families' lives. And, you know, as you guys know, that's what this company is all about, is, you know, giving back and serving the communities that we live and work in. So, and I know Lauren has put in a lot of hours on both of those projects. So thank you, Lauren, and the social committee for helping her with that.
Yes, thank you, committee.
Yes, Sarah Vix, I love your background image. Did anyone see Jimmy Fallon on his show last night dressed as the Tiger King? It was hilarious. Am I the only one?
Yes.
I was dying. Google it. All right, so we would be remiss not to recognize a couple of total boss ladies in the house. Julie and Carrie Brand have both reached the illustrious milestone of Capper. So congrats, ladies. Enjoy your 100% commission. Don't spend it all in one place. I always like to say mama needs a new pair of shoes or 20. So, you know, maybe do a little online shopping for yourselves, but enjoy that 100% commission. You guys have earned it through your hard work and tenacity. So good job. Good job. All right, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat comments. Okay, so some of you may have seen the Facebook post I did a few days ago. There is a video that we're going to play for you. I don't know if that's next up. I'm guessing that it is. Nick Baldwin interviewed Jessica Starr, who has a team in Connecticut. And it's not a huge team. I want to say it's a team of maybe like 5 or 6 agents. But she has really embraced these boosted Facebook ads through Command that we all have access to. For those of you who haven't been following it, for those of you who have not initiated any of those sorts of campaigns yet, please, please, please do yourself a favor and look into them. We're going to be sharing more information around them. But essentially, nutshell, she spent $863 on 19 separate campaigns and has generated $80,000 in commissions based on that. 25,000 of that has already been booked. If you're not using this, you are doing yourself a real disservice. Folks are commenting that they on average are getting leads that are costing anywhere between $1 to $2. I've heard some stories of leads costing as little as 12 cents a piece. So for goodness sakes, please do it. I know that there have been a few of you that have tried it, and a few of you who maybe are frustrated because you're hearing all of these really great success stories, but maybe not having the same kind of results. And what I'll tell you is there is a real strategy in the type of campaigns that you should be running and how you should be structuring it, whether it's a buyer campaign or a seller campaign, the wording that you're using, etc. But the gold is always going to be in the follow-up, right? It's always going to be in the follow-up. So I actually reached out to Jessica because I was so inspired by her story that we're going to share here with you in a few minutes, and said, would you be willing to share some of the content of your campaigns that you've run? And she responded back in true Keller Williams fashion. It's one of the things that I love about this company, you guys. All you have to do is ask. And these people, you know, will return that request, and she has agreed to put me in contact with her assistant and possibly do a future webinar for us on how she's doing those campaigns. So without further ado, Lisa, do we want to watch a portion of this video?
I'll start it right now.
Hey everybody, it's Nick Baldwin, Regional Technology Trainer for the Michigan, Northern Ohio region of Keller Williams. And today I've got superstar agent Jessica Starr from the Star Realty Group in Connecticut. And I wanted to have Jessica here for a few minutes to tell everyone about the success that she's having using Command. Her team is all in on Command, and they're really leveraging campaigns, specifically on Facebook, at a really high level. So Jessica, I heard that you've been having a lot of success with campaigns. So tell us a little bit about that. How many campaigns have you been running, and what type of conversion are you seeing from those campaigns, and which ones have been the most successful for you?
Yeah, sure. So we run a total of 19 campaigns. We've done it in 49 days. We have spent, drum roll please, $863. It might not sound like a lot, might sound like a lot to some, not a lot to others, and yet.
Well, hold on a second. $863. How many leads did that bring you for $863? Do you know that off the top of your head?
Well, we know how many leads we have. That's a loaded question. We have a ton of leads, a ton of nurses, but actually signed people that we already have. I want to tell you about that next, because that's actually.
Yeah, okay, go. Let's go for it.
So we have already signed 7 new buyers and 1 listing from that. So that was only in 49 days and $863, right? Of that, we have a potential to make, because they're signed with us, so we know what they're pre-approved for or what they're listed at, $80,000 in commission. We already have pended from the $80,000. We have pended already under contract $25,000 waiting to close. So for $863, we have a confirmed $25,000 profit. Right now, we're waiting on the additional money out of that at 80 when they finally pen. And that doesn't mean or even mention all the nurtures we have. I can get you those numbers at some point too.
I mean, that's insane. So right off the bat, 19 campaigns over 49 days, $863 spent, 7 buyers signed, right? So they are working with you. And a listing signed, a potential of $80,000 in commission, with about $24,000, $25,000 of it already in the pipeline. So that means that some of those people are already pending on a transaction. And all it took was less than $900. You can't get a return like that, I don't think, anywhere in the world with your marketing dollars. Tell us a little bit about some of the campaigns that you ran. Were they just listed campaigns? What type of ads were they?
So we did some open houses, some virtual open houses. We did attract buyer campaigns. Those seem to work out best for us. And we really focus on just, making them pretty, having catchy slogans in there, and just being attractive to people. And we're really bent on the follow-up with them. And sometimes, people will give you that line, hey, I'm just looking. That's great. Can you just tell me what you liked about our ad? We'd love to know. We spent some money and time putting these in here, and people love to tell you what they like. Then you might tell them, like, hey, I noticed that was a rant you looked at. If you were going to buy, were you interested in a 1-level living home? Because of that conversation and that script, I actually have another listing pending to go on and a potential buy. So that's not counted in that yet.
That's a great script. What I was going to say was, it definitely is all in the follow-up. So anybody can run an ad, anybody can generate a lead. It's just a matter of what you're following up and when you're following up. And you're just having conversations, right? So what people have to understand is, mostly Facebook opportunities are going to tell you, I'm just looking or I'm not ready. And what you say is it's something that I've been talking about, and you are obviously doing it, right? Like, just looking, the biggest objection handler ever. That's great that you're just looking. I posted this house on Facebook. I would love to give some feedback to my seller. Could you just let me know what you thought about it? Or That's great that you're just looking, what are you potentially looking for, right? Like turn that into a conversation and don't be pushy, because with Facebook opportunities, you got to take a step back if they're not right now. But sometimes, you know, when you walk into a department store, do you need help? No, I'm fine. 5 minutes later, you come back. Yeah, actually, I'm looking for this. So it's just like,
you literally had the person that was a little intuitive with you and said, hey, you know what? No worries. But I love that scarf you're wearing. You know, I've got some great scarves over here. If you were in the market for a scarf, I'd love to show you. That shade of red looks really pretty on you.
I love it. You would look fantastic in this kitchen. It really brings out your eyes.
Yeah.
So I love it. It's lots of success there. So it's about what the ad looks like, make it appealing, lots of pictures, virtual open houses, or giving people maybe videos to look at. And then the follow-up, right? Very non-pushy, asking them their opinion of the home, and then just getting into a conversation. And really what it comes down to is 19 campaigns, 49 days, $863 with a potential of 80,000 in commission, with 24,000 already in the pipeline, and 7 buyers signed and 1 listing. I mean, that right there is a success story in itself. And if anybody needed a reason to jump into Facebook for command, you just got your reason.
Erin, do you want to keep going? I think we were going to kind of stop it there.
Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. They get into some other things, you know, after that essentially is kind of regurgitating what's already been said. So I'm just curious, you know, anyone who's willing, I'm just curious to hear your guys' thoughts on that. I'm curious to hear, I think Clark might be on. I know that he's run a couple of campaigns and you know, was curious about how to get the kind of interaction that we're hearing some of the others are getting. But I'm just curious to see if anybody has any questions or wants to add to that, or if there's information that I can work on behind the scenes, you know, getting in preparation for trying to schedule a webinar with Jessica.
Hey, Aaron, I did build out a few campaigns, and I just started with one, which was a seller campaign, and I didn't get anything out of it. I met with Q a little bit, and we went over it. We made a couple adjustments. I think one thing that I need to do, and they mentioned it in this in that video, was a catchy look. I did video, but I just did a plain video. I didn't do, you know, I think what I need to do is get like a Canva type of thing and build a template. So it does look attractive. I mean, I'm attractive, don't get me wrong, but not a lot of people were clicking on it. So
I was just clicking on your picture right now, Clark.
yeah, whatever. Anyways, so I think I need to do a little research on the whole Canva template deal. And I think once I solve that problem, I think it'll help quite a bit. So.
Yeah. Well, Clark, thanks for sharing that feedback. I want a couple of things when it comes to online lead generation or Facebook ads in general. A lot of times it comes down to what sort of offer of item of value, or you know, what message we're communicating. Kind of like she said in the video, it's fairly easy to generate a bunch of buyer leads, right? You throw some properties on there or property search or whatever, you're going to get buyers, people that register because they want to look at homes for sale. A little trickier to, you know, to catch those sellers and generate specific seller leads. And one of the biggest or most successful ways in which people are able to generate online seller leads as opposed to buyer leads is with the home valuation question or type of an advertisement. So if you run an advertisement that says, hey, would you like to know what your home's worth, or would you like to know your home value, etc., whether that's a video or whatever kind of advertisement you run, we have found that has a lot more success in getting sellers to register or ask for information, because a lot of times that's the biggest question on their mind is, what's my home worth, right? So if you run advertisements specifically targeted to answering that question for sellers, Clark, that might help you in particular with your seller ads as you're looking to modify them a little bit. The other thing I wanted to say in regard to this is, you know, obviously it can seem kind of strange when we're telling people to be mindful of expenses, but at the same time go invest in online advertisement. So I just want to clear up something from the get-go. When we talk about expenses, we're talking about, you know, taking a look at all the expenses you have in your business, and this would really apply to your personal finances as well. But what are all the expenses you have in your business? Which ones are just kind of extra that are wasteful, and which ones aren't really generating any return leads or business for you, right? And we're telling you to eliminate that stuff. Don't eliminate the investments in your business that are working well for you. So for example, if you go through all of your different expenses and you find that you can carve out $500 a month on just kind of extra stuff that's really not doing anything for you, well, that might mean you eliminate that $500 in expense from your budget, and then maybe you cut it in half and you take $250 of it and you start putting it toward advertisements like these or whatever means that is currently working for you, right? If we just completely stop investing in generating leads for our business, that's not necessarily the right answer either, right? The smart answer, the strategic answer is eliminate the spending that isn't doing anything for you, and maybe even increase or double down on the ones that are working extremely well for you. Does that make sense? Or any comments, questions, feedback on that?
Hey, Zach. Clark again here. So I was using Market Leader Pro, and for my website and all that, and I was being charged $119, I think, a month. And I looked at that and I started hearing about KW offering, free website and all that. So I looked into it and I decided, you know what, I'm going to use the KW website. It's pretty nice. And so I contacted Scott Lemoy, I can't remember his name.
Right.
Scott Leroy.
There you go. And he's great. I mean, he's really doing a great job. And, there's certain things that they do just free of charge. There's other things that you have to do, but that's fine. For me to, I want to be able to learn how to do that stuff so I can teach my team how to do it. And, that was one of the motivations for me was I wanted a website where we can use as a team and also our teammates can, have benefit from it. And so it's turned out to be pretty good. It's still a work in progress. We're almost done, but that's going to save me over $1,200 a year,
That's great. Well, that's kind of the whole, there's a two-pronged strategy behind Command. Number one is streamlining everything so it's in one stop for everybody, making it easy for everybody to include the consumers. And number two, it's the cost savings to agents. I mean, just that example alone is going to save you over $1,000. There are so many other features involved in Command in general that are aimed to save agents money and streamline their business operations. So I appreciate that feedback. I'm glad it's able to save you some money.
Well, the other thing with it too is I had a bunch of campaigns set up on the Pro, so it's forced me to go back to now. People had buyer portals or buyer searches or whatever set up. So now it's forced me to go back and do all those on Command, which I should have been doing anyway. And so it's been a good thing.
Excellent. Thanks for leaning into it and really embracing it, taking the time to learn it and implement it.
So you feel doing Facebook ads on Command is better than doing them directly from Facebook?
Yeah, Karen,
100%. And it's cheaper.
Yeah, that's the main reason. Two reasons why, Karen. It's going to be less expensive for you just because Keller Williams account is kind of considered to be one collective account in the eyes of Facebook, so the price break is better. And they're constantly monitoring the performance of the campaigns and tweaking them so that your campaigns are reflecting the ones that perform the best. So from a cost-saving standpoint and from the results that you get, I would highly recommend you try to run them through Command versus just doing them through your own Facebook page. You can still do that. There's no problem with that. You just won't necessarily get the same price break, and you might not benefit from some of the same analysis they're doing regarding all of our ads and how they're performing.
So I have to,
Sorry, design of the ad is on Command then?
You're able to design it within Command, yep.
Because I'm not really good at doing it. I mean, it would take me hours.
Well, you're our fashionista. You should be great at design, I would think. No, I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing
what I
you.
like, but I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, well, here that could be I don't know if we've recorded any classes or you can get a one-on-one schedule to figure out how to do that, but we can certainly walk you through that, Karen, and show you exactly how you go through that process.
Yeah, Lisa could probably speak to that briefly. I think not to put you on the spot, Lisa, but
Oh, that's okay. And that's, you know, Karen, that's part of what I do. And that's part of what, you know, I offer to the agents is anytime you want to set up a one-on-one with me about anything tech related or, you know, KW systems related, I'd be happy to meet with you. We do have some things recorded and we do have some, you know, follow-up smart plans that we can share with you as well. So Karen, I'll follow up with you after the meeting on that.
Hey, Lisa, do you have any, you know, video that just goes through like your basic posting, you know, in Command? Because there's a number of steps that you have to take, and just to get to your listing, it's pretty easy once you know what to do.
Yeah.
And then you can get from there, just to get people there.
I'm sorry.
No, just to get people there.
Yeah.
You know,
there is some basic steps that walks you through just kind of how to do it. And then Nick Baldwin, who we just watched, put together a great video. So I'll send that out as well on how to properly do it. So the right things to click, what not to do, those types of things. Because even though most of the guesswork's been taken out for you, and when you run the Facebook paid ad through Command, you know, it's all real estate related. Whereas if you ran it through Facebook, that's not, you know, specific to real estate. That's a lot of different industries. And so it just like makes it a little more difficult to run it through Facebook directly. So yes, I can send those out as well.
So I have a couple of things to share just from my experience in running Facebook campaigns. And Kimry has done a great job partnering in doing campaigns. So we've been doing it for several weeks, and a couple of things. We've been experimenting to find out which ones get the most attention. And we've done all sorts. We've done listing, we've done buyer, we've done solds, and we're finally getting traction. So my advice to you is don't run 1 or 2 ads and then give up. If this is something that you really want to maximize, you have to stick with it. And you kind of have to be consistent, because it's kind of like a snowball. It will gradually start, and then it gets traction, and it gets bigger, and you start getting more leads. So it's a learning process. So now I'm getting leads. Now I'm challenged with how to deal with the leads and how to best reach out to them. So just
good challenge to have.
So what did you say, Zach?
It's a good challenge to have, right?
It is, but just as it was an experiment with the ads to find out which ads got the most attention, what words, what pictures, graphics got the most attention. Now I'm experimenting with what are the best questions to ask, because a challenge is once the leads start coming into Command and you've been running several ads, it can be challenging to figure out which ads the leads are coming from. So that's my sticking point right now is
I thought that Command tracked that for you, Trudy. I could be wrong. Am I hearing that there would be some decent interest if we could get Jessica to do a webinar?
Yeah, it would be. And Command is changing. You know, Command changes all the time. And Kimry is in Command every single day. I can't say that I'm in Command every single day, but she's been noticing that, and I don't know if she's on right now, that leads were able to be tracked, and now they're coming into a different category where they're harder to figure out what ads the leads are coming from. So and maybe it's just kind of a glitchy thing presently that they're working through, but that is a challenge right now.
Yeah, and
that's good feedback.
And then can I share?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I started doing this for each of my new listings as they come out. So I'm running them ads on specifically on Facebook, on Instagram, and also through Command, because I want to learn through the analytics and also the way that things are distributed. Sorry, my dogs are outside barking. And through those programs, what's getting the best views, how much response, how many are actual real leads, how that can be converted. I don't know how many of you have ever paid for leads through Zillow, Realtor, it's a very similar process. You have to use the right kind of scripts. You have to follow up right away. It is better often, depending on the age of the person, to reach out via text message with a canned script. I'm not going to give away all my secret sauce, but I want to teach you guys a little bit of that context. So when I was doing these ads through Command, I was doing the advertised listing, and I had really good return on investment with that. I spent $20 per listing, and the one that I had the most amount of impressions was one over in Winona that is overlooking the river. Okay, I got over 5,000 impressions through Command in 10 days, which is less than 5 cents per click.
For 20 bucks.
That property went into multiple offers and is under contract for over list price. Cool, great. So just letting you know, these things do work, and they do drive the views. And whether it's through Command or through Facebook or through Instagram or through LinkedIn or through Google, and if you're embedding words, I highly recommend speaking with somebody that does this professionally. Like Trudy has Kimry, so she has her in there. If you need a digital marketing coordinator or somebody to handle this kind of stuff for you, look into that, because these people are available. If this isn't your strong suit, if you can't figure this kind of stuff out, I'd say learn the basics and then look into whether if you could even have a part-time admin doing this remotely for very nominal amounts. Your return on investment is going to show if you know how to follow up with the leads and connect with them as soon as possible. You can't let them sit. You need to reach out right away.
And Lauren, just to piggyback on what you said, running ads, yes, it's about the leads, but it's also about getting the listings in front of more people in order to ramp up showings, ramp up offers. It's more than just about the leads. It's advertising our listings too. So
Trudy, so I want to add a couple of things, and and Trudy, you kind of touched on one of the ones I wanted to touch on, which was, just if you think a quick 20-second commercial. Lauren said, hey, for 20 bucks, I advertise a listing in this way, got thousands of impressions, etc. So not only is it a powerful tool to generate leads, but also to Trudy's point, imagine being able to have that as part of your listing consultation when you're meeting with sellers, right? That's a powerful thing as well. So not only can we help you generate buyer or seller leads, but you can also use that data and the results that it generates for you and for your clients in other appointments to say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what I'll do for you. This is the result my other sellers had. So I would love to get to work with you and help you achieve a similar result. So,
and oh, by the way,
you have to ask yourself, what's the item of value, right? So to Lauren's standpoint, really, anytime I'm doing an ad, I just ask myself, what does the general public want? What does the consumer want? What is of interest to them, right? And that's what you have to focus the conversation on. Honestly, the focus isn't about you. If your value proposition in an ad is, I've been doing this for 15 years, I'm amazing, look at all my experience, you're not going to go far, right? It should be about, what do buyers want? They want to see homes, right? They have questions. They want education. What do sellers want? They want to know, what can I sell my home for? What's that process like? So really, a lot of it has to do with education, answering questions for them. I want to circle back to something, Trudy, too, which is this. You can do several different ads that speak to several different niches or several different types of consumer. The days of trying to do a catch-all advertisement that somehow pleases everybody that might be interested in buying or selling isn't as productive as saying, okay, I'm going to run 5 different ads. I'm going to target buyers. I'm going to target first-time home buyers. I'm going to target move-ups. I'm going to target downsizers. I'm going to target people that want to buy new construction, and I'm going to target investors that want to buy, right? If you try to run advertisement that targets all 5 of those groups, you're not going to go as far as if you ran 5 different advertisements that specifically speak to what each of those different groups are looking for, right? Because the message to an investor is going to be different than a message to somebody who's looking at new construction, which is going to be different than a first-time home buyer, right? So think about it that way. And same with your sellers. What message am I communicating to what target audience? And how do I really speak to what they value and are truly looking for? That's how you get them to click. And then back to Lauren's point, the follow-up has to be immediate, whether it's a phone call, text, or whatever. I don't care. And Don't overthink the process. When they register, you follow up and you use the same script I've been preaching from, I can't even remember, which is, hey, how are you? Thank you so much for registering on our website to do whatever. Ask them the 3 basic questions to get at their timeline, their price point, and their area, and then say, well, here's what I'd love to do. I'd love to offer you a free, no hassle, no obligation consultation where I answer your questions, educate you about what's going on in the market, and help you formulate a game plan that will allow you to be successful. Would that be helpful for you? That's how you take all that work you're doing, advertising for the ads, getting the registrations, doing the follow-up to ultimately book those appointments, whether it's in person or Zoom. That's how you build a tremendous pipeline. So this has been a great discussion. I appreciate everybody jumping in and sharing their thoughts.
The last thing that I want to comment on is just a reminder, and it's to Trudy's point and Clark's point as well. She spent $863 on 19 different campaigns. It wasn't that she spent money on one campaign and generated $80,000 in commissions. So to your point, Lauren, Trudy, Clark, it has to be, running these campaigns, you also want to systemize, right? And you have to, it's not just a one shot and you're done. You got to play around with it. You got to see what works. You got to be willing to throw a little bit of money at it. You certainly don't have to start with 19 campaigns and $863, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, Lauren's got the right idea in terms of it's a system in which every time she takes a listing, she already has a dedicated budget, and it's basically almost a copy and paste procedure, right? Okay, every listing we know we're going to invest $20 or whatever the amount is toward advertising that listing online, right? So just and that kind of helps with what Trudy brought up. The system's always changing, and what I have found is, 3 months ago, I might have went into the system and learned how to do Facebook ads. Well, now if I log in today expecting to do the same process, I'm going to find that it may have tweaked a little bit. So unless I'm in there on a regular basis, I'm going to almost have to relearn it every once in a while. Versus if I'm doing it every single time I take a listing or every time I do, maybe one of your strategies is, once a month or once a week, I spend $20 on some sort of buyer-related ad. Well, if you're constantly doing that and you've systemized it as a part of your business because you're always in there or forcing yourself to always be in there, you're going to constantly know what it is you need to do to run those ads versus taking a break from it, coming back to it months later and looking at what is seemingly a new process.
And I just want to touch on that. You guys, the words that are coming out of Zach's mouth right now are gold. Honestly, and I'm not sucking up, like that's the straight honest truth. If you aren't implementing these strategies, if you want to learn about this, listen to what he's saying, because also, yeah, I'm spending $20 in command per listing, but I'm also spending money in Facebook per listing and Instagram per listing and these other contexts. And the thing is, I'm also testing in command if I do a carousel of photos for the listing, if I do my virtual open house that I started doing for all my listings, or if I'm doing the aerial drone imagery, or if I'm doing whatever it might be, and they perform differently and you get different engagements. So test it out. You don't have to spend 20, spend $5 and do 5 different ads. Oh, and by the way, if you participate in the contest at the office, you get money, you get advertising. So participate and learn and heed the advice of these mega agents that are telling you what to do. That's
Lauren, you just gave away your secret sauce. You were the only one entering contests. Now you're going to have competition.
Yeah. Hey, Zach, after Lauren's comments, your head is no longer fitting in the screen.
I would expect that to come from Megan. You watch yourself. Hey, I want to say one more thing. I forgot to say earlier, and Trudy made me think of this, which is at the end of the day, the worst case scenario, even if you run an advertisement and you don't maybe get the sort of online registration that you'd like, it's about branding, right? You're winning because you're getting your brand out there and you're getting it in front of people as well. So always look at it in that respect as well. You want to be branding yourself and your operation, right? So always remember that part of this is a big part of it is also just getting your name and your brand out there on a regular basis, because it circles back to our conversation about mind share, right? If you're winning the mind share battle, especially during this time, that's gonna pay off tremendously for you as well. So that's all I've got. I'll be quiet now.
The last thing I want to remind you guys of, in case you weren't on the last call, is if you've not run a campaign yet, you're only qualified if you haven't run a campaign yet. If you do a spend of $75 or more, you get a $25 credit. So don't forget that exists as well. All right. What's next on the agenda? Unless there's anything else anybody wants to add, we're gonna keep moving. All right. Lisa, do we have you with us still?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
everybody, it's Nick Bald.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
I was like, whoa, we have Nick live and in person.
that's pretty much everything. We do have a vendor hopping on with us as well here in a few moments. Rick is on right now with us. Rick Erickson is with Home Pro Home Inspections, who a lot of you are very familiar with. So he's going to share some information about what he does and how that can help you in your business and what sets him apart. So Rick, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hey, good morning. Welcome everybody to the world of Zoom. I'm sure you've been doing a lot of it. I've been doing this for years, and back in my old days at IBM, we used to do the virtual meetings all the time, all over the world. So it's fun. But anyway, can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Furnace just kicked on. I'm down in a basement. But anyway, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rick. I own Home Pro Inspections. Been in business since 2004. I have 4 inspectors right now, 1 environmental guy, and 1 office manager, Anna, who I'm sure you guys have talked to. In addition to doing the residential inspections, I also have Home Pro Environmental, which is Joe. If you guys have met Joe, he's a radon guy. Joe actually has a 4-year degree in environmental sciences. So he's a huge asset to the team because he can do radon, he can do mold, he can test asbestos, do water testing, lead testing. And then we also do commercial inspections. So Joe's also has the ability to do the phase 1 environmental assessments. So we've done a couple of those for people who are buying a commercial property and they want to make sure that there aren't any, underlying groundwater problems or anything like that. So basically the 3 different companies underneath the Home Pro brand. And then the thing that I want to talk to you guys about today, it'll just take a little bit, is if you've done an inspection with me in the last week or so, you'll probably notice that our reports look different. We've been working on this since the beginning of the year. And so we have a new program called Spectora that we're using. It's more modern, it's more web-based, it's more intuitive than our past reports. It's got a little bit of wow to it. It impresses the clients, the realtors like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so I can kind of go through this with you right now. Drop this down. Share the screen.
They were very excited to have you here, Rick. We like working with you and your team a lot.
Thank you. Share my screen. That's not working. Share screen. Wait for it. So what's showing up on your guys' screen?
Here we go. Now it's working.
Can you see that now?
Now we can see Spectora.
Okay. All right. Let me move you guys out of the way here so I can see. So when you get an inspection now from us, it'll basically look like this when you click on the link. So this is a house that I did a week or so ago, and then I just changed the name and everything. But anyway, it shows the house, shows the map. We got some branding for you guys. So I threw Zach and Aaron in there as a realtor, myself as the inspector, and Johnny buyer buying the place. So we have the inspection report here. If there's a radon that goes along with this, then the radon report will show up right underneath that. And then I have a couple of documents that I put in here too for our clients. And the one is the when the things go wrong. And that's always been on the back of our inspection reports. So, it tries to help people realize that, okay, I've been in the house for 6 months now and I found 3 things that really ticked me off, and why weren't they on the inspection report? So there's things like, the condition of the house when we were there, were the closets packed full of clothes, maybe showers only leak when there's a 200-pound guy standing in them, things like that. And then the other thing too is we get a lot of questions on life expectancy. So this is a chart that comes out of INNERNACHI, which is the organization that we're all certified through, which kind of gives standard life expectancies for pretty much anything and everything in the house. So when you get the report, what you can see here is you can hit view. I didn't publish this to our main system yet. So the report's going to show up like this. This is what you and the client are going to see when you get the inspection. So it has the agent's name again, the inspector. You can see that there were 10 maintenance items. There was 4 repair things. And then we just start off with the general information. It's a little easier, I should say, a lot easier to read than our past reporting structure. There's a menu down the side here if you want to go to a certain category. And then something that we've always done, or shouldn't say always done, we've done for the last year or so, is we always put the positive attributes of the house at the beginning of the report. Because we believe the inspection isn't about just pointing out bad stuff with the home. We want to make sure that people understand there's some good stuff too. And as a company, we've always verbalized this stuff, but now we've actually put it in the report. So then as we're going through the report here, we can see like grounds, we have some maintenance things on the driveway. It's kind of nice. You can click on the picture. There's the big shot. Look at this one, kind of again. And what we do is if it's something that's a maintenance item now, it's the wrench and the arrows are blue. If it's a repair, see if we can find a repair here. So like on the deck, here's something that's a little more serious. You don't want somebody leaning against that and tumbling 8 feet to the ground. So if it's a repair, it's orange. And then if it's something like a real safety issue, like life-threatening kind of a thing, then we do it in the red. So that kind of helps set the tone a little bit, put more of a level of, I guess, severity on things. So yeah, as we go through the report, we can just kind of see things a little more clear. We always put the photos in the reports of places that homeowners typically don't go, like an attic, kind of give them an idea what that looks like. But here's the cool thing for you guys. We can go directly just to the summary if we want, and just look at the issues in each one of the sections. Or the thing that's really cool for you guys that's going to save you, most reports are 30 minutes to 60 minutes. If you click on report tools and do the repair request builder, the nice part about that is we can say, let's look at the things that you're going to base your decision on. And this is what we try to tell clients too, is you base your decisions on those repairs and those safety hazard kind of things, not loose doorknobs or caulking or paint on a door jamb or something like that. So for the repair requester, you can go in here as an example and say, okay, I'm the buyer. I'm sitting here with my realtor. Yeah, I can fix that, but I'm going to need some stuff. So let's just say I want $25 so that I can go buy some parts. And these are just examples. And we always try to put in this new report now, a lot of times we get the questions from clients. It's like, well, who should I call for that? So we have a ton of categories. So like a handyman, DIY, electrical one here. We're looking at it. That's an electrical contractor. Yep, we want an electrician to fix that one. Laundry vent. Yeah, I can probably fix that one. Let's just say I'm going to need $50 for materials. Again, just throwing out numbers here. Garage. Ooh, we should probably get a plumber in here to cap that, since I don't want to have to deal with that one. And so there's your report, your amendment or addendum, whatever you guys call it. We click on this. Here's your list. Now you can just forward this off to listing agents saying this is stuff we're asking for. We're looking for a total of $25 credit for that one. We want an electrician to take care of these things. Our wording is in there. Who we recommend probably having to fix that. And then you just take it in someplace here. There's a place to sit or view as PDF. You guys can print that, attach it to your paperwork or as PDF to the email and just send her back and it's done. So
this is amazing. This is what I already do to all of them. And so this is going to save so much time. Good job. Thank you.
Yeah. And the other thing that's cool about it, thank you for that comment. The other thing that's cool about it too, let me get back to this. If we decide we want to look at all of them, because maybe your client says, there was a couple other things or maintenance things there that I was unsure about. And then you just go back in and you say, yeah, I can fix that. I can fix that. I can clean that. I maybe want to get a contractor to come in and do this one. So we can ask for that too. But what we try to do is drive people towards the like we always say the safety, health, money pit kind of things. Because in the old days when we used to have everything on our summary page, it's frustrating for you guys, it's frustrating for us, that, you know, people are like, well, they want everything on the list fixed. And some of it might be a 1/4 inch tear in the screen. And it's like, you know, you're basing your decision whether you buy this house or not as to whether or not the homeowner will do that. So try to take that out of the picture. But, you know, maybe this one here, they say they want that too. So then you just go back in, hit preview again, take a look at it. You know, here's the things we're asking for, and PDF, and boom, you're done. So any questions on that?
Does anyone else take snippets from their reports and send that over as photo evidence to the listing agent? Like if you're on the buy side, I've been often told, you know, you don't want to send the full report. So do you take snippets and then build that into photo evidence? Do you see how this is so beneficial? Just opening up the conversation. No one has any comments?
I do that.
Thank you.
I include what's requested or the pictures, and that's all.
Yeah, so I think a tool like this can save you guys, you know, if you're saving 30 to 60 minutes, depending on how many, you know, issues are with the house. You know, if I did an older house, you know, last week that had, boy, there was a lot of stuff. And for a realtor to have to sit down and try to write that addendum thing, you know, a tool like this, just click, 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 and boom, you're done. And you know, you guys have probably seen this too. I tell people that I've seen it everywhere, from the little old lady who's recently widowed, who's sold the farm and buying her first townhouse, and nobody's going to step on her toes, and I'm not buying this unless that screen is fixed, to the guy who gets a list, you know, that's got 25 items on it. He's like, cool, projects, you know. So you get the gamut. But
so to go
I could
back
use
to
some more of those cool projects guys in my life there, Rick.
What's that?
So I could use some more of those guys in my life that are like, oh, great projects.
Yeah, I had a young gal one time buy a house, and the roof was shot, and this is when I was early in my career here, and I was nervous she was going to be, and you know, so was the realtor, and she's like, I got 4 brothers that roof, you know. So yeah,
I just wanted to add to what Lauren had said as far as sending the whole. They left, but Rick, when you're adding in those positive comments and the report starts with that, I think that's really important because we do so often share the entire report. Mm-hmm. And I think it's good when sellers see that the inspector didn't just come in and tear apart their home. Yeah. Like just come in and point out every teeny little thing. And that's what they're always afraid that an inspector might do. So I think that when the positive is pointed out, I see to your point too, Lauren, that it's great if you only share the things that you want fixed. But sometimes I think it's a good thing to send the whole report. For instance, if there are those 25 items on there and the seller says, or the buyer says, I got this, I can do all of this, I only want these 2 things done. And then the seller can see, gee, they didn't ask for everything under the sun. They only want, you know, the air conditioner to be level, and they're going to take care of all the wiring, or they're going to take care of all these other things, and, you know, stuff like that. So there are pros and cons to sending the entire report. Maybe if you only find one thing on the report that is an ask, maybe that's all you need to send. But usually I like to see the whole report when I'm on the listing side, because I want to see what the buyers went through and everything to reach their decision on what their ask is.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, Megan. Sorry if I may jump in really quick. The fact that you like the positive remarks, it's also very beneficial to the buyer so that they don't feel like they're buying a shithole. Like, right. Sorry to be frank, but just so they know, like, yes, there are good things, you know? And then the comment that I made about sharing the whole report comes down to listing agents getting upset or being like, now I have to disclose all of this. Please don't send me the full report. So that's kind of just the context of why I said that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was going to add. The only caveat would be, if you're going to send over the whole report, just make sure the listing agent's on board with you. You've asked them their permission to do that, or you've given them a heads up, because if you just send them the whole thing, you might open up a can of worms that you didn't intend to. People sometimes get overly sensitive about that thing. Typically what we'll do is I think somebody said this earlier, we'll kind of only send over the relevant information. And that's even only after I've asked them, hey, you know, I typically say, here are our requests. We're happy to provide the portions of the home inspection that are relevant to these requests if it would be helpful to illustrate and help you understand our requests and how to go about repairing them. Most times people say, yeah, please, if you could just send me the relevant pieces of the home inspection, that would be beneficial. Other times, to Megan's point, they say, hey, just send the whole thing so we know what we're working with and we've got all the relevant contextual information that we need. So I think so long as the two agents have that dialogue and have the chance to have a conversation and know exactly what we're going to do ahead of time, that helps alleviate any concerns. So Rick, not to take away from you, we'll let you.
I want to add one more thing, Zach, since you're saying,
Okay.
since we're talking about disclosure, just everybody don't forget that you actually need your buyer's permission to send any of it. So.
Yes.
It's
That
their
is
report,
true.
right?
All right, that's all I had. If you guys have any more questions on that, on the Spectori, just let me know. We kicked it off this week and we've had some good response to it. We're excited about it. So
I think it's awesome, Rick. Really like it.
thanks.
Yeah, Rick, thank you so much for jumping on with us today. And, you know, what a great example of just continuing to grow and improve your company. I think that report looks absolutely amazing and just very easy to read. And yeah, we've come a long way from the 50-page booklets, haven't we? So
Yeah, and the other thing is that, you know, I thought, you know, years ago is, you know, what is it we're actually selling as a home inspection company? It's just the feeling that you're making a solid decision. And the job of the home inspectors, and I teach my guys this when I bring them on, is we're not here to pound the crap out of the house. Our job is just to simply provide the information of the state of the home on this particular day that we're here. So there's good things, there's bad things. You know, it's just the way it is. So point them all out. We like I said, we've always verbalized them, but actually putting them on the report makes a big difference with people too. It's like, yeah, I guess I never really thought that this thing has a huge foyer, or I never really thought about the fact that I've got a heater in the garage, or yeah, this deck is huge, you know? So, all right.
no better time to, you know, be going the extra mile to make sure our clients are comfortable with their decision. We appreciate that. So.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead on this meeting. We're running 3 minutes late here. So thanks all for jumping on. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Rick.
Bye.